Hi, it's Michael Whitehouse at your Motivational Minute. It is easier to learn to win the game you're playing than to try to change the rules of the game. What do I mean? I just made a post to a particular Facebook group talking about the idea that if people understood their entrepreneurial potential and the ability to take their skills and make a living from that and made them able to leave their jobs, then it would create a change in the labor market which would raise wages without having to legislate higher minimum wages. And a lot of people said, well, we should just outlaw jobs that don't pay people a living wage. We should have higher minimum wages. People should be able to live on the work they do. Yeah, of course they should, but how's that working for you? How's your living wage, minimum wage law working for you? Not so well. Oh, why? Because businesses have big lobbies, and they spend a lot of money to make sure the minimum wage doesn't rise and to misinform people about what the minimum wage would do. If I could wave a wand and raise the minimum wage, not suddenly, but raise it to $15 an hour across the country, it'd be the biggest stimulus program you've ever seen. It would be incredible what that would do. It's not going to happen. The government is not going to save you. This is true of minimum wage and any number of other things. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes they throw some money your way. There's a grant, there's a PPP, there's an EIDL loan, or something like that. Awesome, cool. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is not a plan. The government may or may not do the things you need to do. In the meantime, you've got to live your life. You've got to do what it takes to make your life and your opportunities better. The good news is you can. The good news is you have skills and you have resources that you can deploy if you accept that. Unfortunately, if you want to talk about what is one of the things keeping America back from its true potential, it is this belief that we need to be taken care of. We need the government to legislate these things. Now, again, they should be, but I'm not going to hold my breath until the right regulations are finally put in place and the business lobby is overcome. I'm not going to wait for that because I'm going to be old and much more gray than I am now long before that happens. But here's the thing. You don't have to wait. You don't have to. Yes, we have a massive disparity of wealth. We have the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. So stop being poor. Yeah, right, Michael. Okay, sure, stop being poor. That sounds easy. But you can. That's what I'm saying. One of the questions I got was, how does someone with just a high school education who couldn't afford to go to college become a web designer and make all this money? Most people under 40 know how to make a website, right? Maybe not under the web. Maybe you want to be a copywriter. I know people who will pay $25 an article to write blog articles. And if once you get going, you can write 2 an hour, if you set your mind to it. 2 an hour, that's $50 an hour. If you're making $350 a week, find someone who needs articles written for their blog. You work, what's the math on that, 7 hours a week now? 7 hours a week, writing these articles for a couple companies, and boom, you replaced your income. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying walk down the street and be like, hey, you need a blog article? No, there's some marketing involved, there's some strategy, but you can do it. And if you just listen to just this video and nothing else, you don't go on YouTube and study, you don't read a book, you don't join one of my workshops, you just believe me when I say, yes, you can go out and get paid to write blog articles for people and just start asking around. This is the answer. Just be like, hey, you want a business, you have a blog, can I write some articles for you? I'll get you some more SEO, I'll write the articles, and you give me $25 an article. Can you do that? Some people are going to say yes. And a few people say yes, now you've got an income. This is entrepreneurial thinking. It's knowing that there's money to be made. It's knowing there's an opportunity, and then saying, now that I know, I'm going to go find it. The employee thinking, the employee mindset is, until someone's handing me a paycheck, I don't even start working. Everything's got to be in a box for me. And guess what happens when you need things to be prepared? You don't get the best things. Happens with food too. Think about that, right? You get a frozen dinner, it's full of sodium and preservatives. You get something fresh as you make yourself, you're going to get better quality. It's going to take a lot more work. You're going to have to learn how to do it, but you're going to get the better quality and the better results by doing so. A little bit of a rant there, but my point is that you cannot wait for the government or the lottery or your Uncle Joe to die and give you money. Now is when you need to do something, and you can't just sit there and complain, even if you're trying to bring about the liberal revolution or whatever, and overthrow capitalism. You're going to starve to death before that happens. And, trust me, if you know anything about the history of revolutions, rarely did the people at the bottom come out better. The rich shuffle around, and the poor stay poor and usually get worse. So instead, find ways, develop ways to make things better for yourself instead of waiting for some magic thing to solve your problems for you. I'm Michael Whitehouse. Is a little bit more ranty than usual. Comment below, let me know what you thought. Do you want more ranting or less ranting? Because I kind of like ranting, but maybe you're like, dude, simmer down, that's a bit much for me. Or you'd be like, dude, 10 more just like this. Let me know. Thanks for listening.